Hi guys, so continuing the theme of solo training that you can do if you're a beginner wanting to get into the use of one-handed swords. As most of you will know by now, I have a broken finger in my right hand, so I'm doing everything left-handed, which, as I will say again, essentially makes me a beginner, like some of you will be with my left hand. I'm a beginner with my left hand. I have fenced a little bit with my left hand, but I'm very bad with my left hand. So previously we've looked at this wiggle exercise you can do to strengthen up the forearm. A lot of the motions of the sword that you need to be able to do, doesn't matter what type of one-handed sword you're using or what style you're following, but there are a lot of very common movements common to basically all one-handed sword systems that you need to be able to do. And this wiggling to improve the strength of the top and underneath of your forearm is a very, very useful exercise. But there are others you can do as well to work the whole of the forearm also. And one of those, very simply, is turning the sword like a windscreen wiper, like you're cleaning your windscreen in rain, from left to right. And that will strengthen up your forearm as well. So backwards and forwards, as you were doing before, but also start to do side to side. Okay? That's a very, very good exercise, and you'll find your arm gets tired relatively quickly, especially if you're not used to using swords or not used to these sort of exercises, and it's very good for strengthening up the arm. It will also work, because you're tensing while you're doing it, will also work your shoulders and your upper arm a little bit as well. And what you can do, of course, if you want to start working the shoulder, the deltoids at the same time, is doing it with your arm held up. And what you'll find is your shoulder starts to get tired quite quickly. So you can actually do it whilst moving the arm up and down additionally. Nice little exercise there. And I should point out, of course, I'm doing this with the sword, but you can do it with a stick, or you can do it with an umbrella, as I've discovered. So even if you live in a country like Britain where you get a reasonable amount of rain, a long umbrella held with the handle at the far end, so it's a bit more weighty at the hitting end, and you can practice a lot of these walking along the street, but be careful not to hit people you're walking past, okay? You might get some strange looks as well. It's better practiced at night. So we've got forwards and backwards, side to side. And then a good little exercise as well, and this actually has a practical use for swordsmanship, is moving the weapon in circles. Okay, you can start with a little circle, tight, quick movement, make the circle get bigger, probably to about as big as your torso, and then slowly get to a smaller circle again. A smaller circle, and then getting bigger. Oh, you can see I'm not very good at doing this with my left hand because it's going all over the place, and then small again. Whew. And that tires your forearm out really quickly. Then, of course, I've been going in what's an anti-clockwise circle for me. Now start doing it the other direction in a clockwise circle. Big circle and small again. Big circle and small again. Okay, and not only is this an exercise, but it also has a practical use, because for those of you who've done any modern fencing, foil or épée, or indeed for any of those who study small sword, rapier or sabre to some extent, you will know that this motion is very useful getting to the other side of a person's blade, either over their sword or under their sword. And in fact, this motion in itself can be a defence. So if a thrust comes in, by moving the sword circularly, you can perform a circular parry, knocking their sword to the outside and then thrust back yourself. So it's an exercise for your arm, but it's also actually a motion that you will practice quite a lot whenever you or the opponent are thrusting or intending to thrust. Okay, so there we go, that's today's little addition. Forwards and backwards, that's probably the most useful one, especially for cutting power. Okay, then windscreen wiper, and remember you can do it with lifting the arm up to exercise the shoulder at the same time. Windscreen wiper. And then circles, either going one direction or the other direction, or alternating as you like. You can also make the circle exercise into a figure of 8 to make it a bit more interesting for yourself as well. And again, of course, the figure of 8 can go either direction. Okay, there we go, thank you.